The accounts of the participating HRLs speak for themselves as incredibly successful professionals who have been highly effective in terms earlier defined by Rao. Our study involved in-depth conversations with each of the HRLs, traversing their life journeys from infancy to school and college, capturing sensitive moments and defining experiences before moving on to their corporate careers. We meticulously probed for their crucible of experiences because that understanding would hold the key to our research. What were those experiences? What were the inflection points? What choices did they make to become who they became? We did have a set of questions, which you will find in Appendix 1, to guide us and ensure that we captured everything that was essential for this study over the interactions. However, we needed freewheeling conversations that ran into several hours, ranging from 3 to 10 hours, spanning several meetings to catch the sensitive points, the nuances. These were largely in-person meetings with at least one of us. Sometimes both of us joined in the conversations. These were supplemented by Zoom calls whenever more detailed probing was required. With the outbreak of the pandemic, the meetings were held over Zoom. We made copious notes and also recorded the conversations. We also looked at papers and articles written by the HRLs, and occasionally even attended webinars to listen to their position on different aspects of the profession for supplementary insights. We allowed for rambling to get to little nuggets of information on the molding process that the HRLs went through, but have not necessarily narrated every detail in the case studies. The idea was to suss out the moral in the stories, the lessons in the experiences. These conversations quite often turned very emotional. They were soulful, heartfelt, and deeply moving moments for us because though we believed that we knew most of these HRLs well, having worked closely with them in many professional forums for several years, the details were eye-opening. Not till the HRLs began to tell us their stories did we realize the gaps in our understanding. How little we knew them, having taken their accomplishments at face value and never really having delved beneath the surface. Our notions were at best shallow, having known nothing of their struggles. For some, revisiting their past systematically, deeply reflecting on their voyage through life, sharing the high and low points, often for the first time, with anyone in such detail was at times cathartic, at others joyous, occasionally poignant, and always deeply steeped in value-driven learnings. These were shared with the utmost confidence because of their faith in our professionalism and the knowledge that they would have the right to review their revelations and edit anything that could unwittingly embarrass someone or tread on someone's toes, which was not the purpose of the exercise. Our intent was to discover the internal processes in the recesses of their mind, the baking process, and not to sensationalize through corporate exposure. We remained mindful of this as we drew them out into sharing stories that were theirs and theirs alone to tell, even as we ensured that no material learning was missed out in the process. The voluminous information gathered through the recordings, supplemented by our handwritten notes, each transcribed material running into about 100 pages and more for some, presented the next big challenge.